live. All right. Oh, we are live.
Hey.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Hope you're having a great week so far. I am so excited to bring you someone that I adore. Cindy Dumire she's probably my favorite Facebook friend. Now, I actually have met her in person several times as well. We've known each other for, I don't know, several years at this point, but her Facebook stuff cracks me up and it makes you want to follow her. And well, I do follow her. But anyway, I'm super excited to introduce Cindy to you guys. She's going to be talking to you today about using social media for lead generation for our real estate business. So Cindy, why don't we start with tell us about you and your background and let's just jump in.
Well, first of all, Stacy's off the chart awesome. We've been friends for a long time and we have this real estate connection and other connections. So she is top notch and I can't speak highly enough about her. I love her and Jen are rock stars. Anyway, I have been in this business like 38 years. I know I started when I was 5, so I age well. Anyway, I used to do all the normal marketing and everything you could possibly, mailings, and I bought lists. I've used realtors, I've done everything. But I found out that when I do those things, I end up paying what I call the investor scramble. I don't know if you ever done it, Stacy, but you go to a house or you go look at a property and there's like 5, 6, 10 investors fighting over the same stupid property. And I just got tired of it, you know? And then you go to someone's house or you go out there and you give them a good price or you're working on whatever and talk to the owner, give them a great price. And then some newbie comes along and offers them the total ARV and, you know, another deal is done. So I had it, you know, and I was advertising in newspapers. Man, this is a while ago. And we got quite well known. And the president of the board of realtor went to all the newspapers and said, if you put any more Cindy's ads in, we're going to pull the real estate ads. So I lost that form. So I was sitting there going crazy because we had a pretty good sized business. We do rent to owns, we buy creatively, and we have a number of properties and I couldn't even post a rental. So I was like, my pipeline stopped. So what happened was I got very frustrated and I did not want to buy a newspaper because writing is not my skill. So what I did was I sat on the computer and I basically couldn't even turn it on. I'll be honest, my kids were hysterical. Mom's on the computer, you know? And 9 months I spent figuring out how I could get leads coming to me and no one else would get them. So, I mean, Tom would, I think, put candy bars under the door. I mean, I literally locked myself in the office for 9 months. And what happened was I got a lead. And I'm like, this can't be right? A lead came and it came through my website. I'm like, no, something's wrong here. So I called the guy up and I went out there and no one else knew about it. I mean, oh my gosh. And Tom's saying the whole time, don't do this deal. It's out of our area. I mean, it was a $500,000 home. And back then that was a lot of money in my area. And don't do it. Don't do it. I said, let me go. So I went. And I go out and I put this thing under contract with no money. Okay. And came home and he's freaking out. And he went to look at the house and it was, you know, a disaster. And it was in a great neighborhood. And I turned around and flipped this thing and made $110,000.
Wow.
In about 7 weeks. So then I started realizing I didn't sell it through online. I don't use realtors at all. Okay, I love them. They're my friends. What, Tom?
Except for that one.
Yeah, except for that one I did. So I started thinking, I think I have something here. So I started increasing and I started getting leads coming into me that no one else knew about. So you have no competition. So you go out and look at the house and you could actually give them a fair deal that worked for them. So that's what I started doing. And then I would buy creatively. So that is what I do, and that's what I teach. And then I also, you know, do creative deals. And, you know, have you ever you've used the internet at all for leads at all, Stacy?
Wait, what did you say? Internet? What?
Have you ever used the internet to direct leads? And you pretty much use a lot of realtors, am I right?
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. I have a really different style. What I've used internet for is for driving lead generation to my property managers when I have a unit open.
Mhm.
But I've never done lead generation using social media.
Yeah.
That's never been part of my repertoire.
Yeah, well, it's really great because what happens is, you know, a lot of these people just do Facebook, which is great, do Facebook, but then when your Facebook dies or something happens, or you know, there's changes all the time, like you know, we couldn't go live for a while, they can change it just like that. You're sunk.
Yeah.
And the only way a lot of people do it is they pay AdWords, Google AdWords, and they can pay up to $5,000 to $9,000 a month. I am not kidding. Yeah, truth. We figured we're going about 8 cents a lead is what it costs me.
Wow.
So, and most of my leads that we do are organic, which means they're free. So when you're doing this, you know, you have to set it up, you know, properly to do this. But once you do it, it keeps giving, you know, and it's almost like building a house. I mean, we all can relate to that.
Yeah.
So when you're building your online marketing, you've got to build your foundation, which is Google and all the other great stuff. And then you start adding walls. So there's an order in which you do it that it comes back and ranks you on Google, you know, up top for free.
Nice.
So,
Wow.
you know, and that's, you know, it is an awesome, awesome way to get leads. It's the only way I do it right now. In the market coming up, there's going to be a really great opportunity because we can close in 5 days, you know, doing these deals. So, you know, that's pretty much what we do. You know, you do a lot of Facebook marketing, don't you, Stacy?
No, actually, everything that we do is organic.
Oh.
Yeah. So yes, Facebook marketing, but not like through ads or things like
no,
that.
That's,
we just
love it. Yeah, most of our ads, I would probably say about 80% of them are organic or leads. And I mean, you know, it's the way to go because if you start paying for AdWords, forget it. Forget it.
Yeah, and I know there's a really big testing period too if you're going to do that because you don't know what's going to resonate and what's going to work, and so there's a pretty substantial cost to that learning curve and figuring it out. So we've really focused on doing everything that we do just organically, you know, connecting with people.
Well, and that's the whole, there's the big thing. And I bet you I can tell you something else you are. You're consistent. Right?
I try.
No, you are. I'm watching it, you know, and that, you know, that I look at real estate investors and it cracks me up because they'll try one time and they'll say, I didn't get a lead. And I'm like, what? You know, you got to be consistent, you know? And it's funny, like I started with the Facebook, you were saying about my posts. I started out and said, you know, the world can be somewhat grumpy at times and depressing. So I decided to make my mission to make people laugh every day. So I put these posts up, and I mean, I will get sometimes over 1 million people looking at my one post. And that is insane. So when you go and you have those people, plus your pages, if you have a message you want to get out, I can hit a couple thousand people for free.
And it's funny because it's true when, you know, it's like none of the stuff that I even see that you do is usually even related to real estate, but it's you. And so people are bought into you. I'm like, I love when I come across your posts because I'm just like, you're just so sassy. I love it. I can't wait to see what you're going to write next.
But it's true. What is real estate? It's relationships. And, you know, we've said it over and over. And, you know, a lot of these people, you and Jen, your face is out there for everybody. You're not hiding. I love the name, by the way. Yeah, I love it. But you're not hiding behind it. You are out there. And a lot of these investors really, you know, want to hide behind a company. And guess what? They're not going to get the response from everybody because people want to deal with people they know.
Yeah, it's true. People want to have like a real connection. They want authenticity and they want to know, the human being behind the business. Yeah.
So when I go out, like what happens is when you do this right, I dominate my area and I dominate, I guess, 60, 65 areas around me. And what happens is when you dominate, like if I go out there and somebody calls me up, they're behind in payments and foreclosure, whatever, just use that. And, you know, normally if you just went out there as an investor, they're like this looking at you, I don't trust you. But when you're out there and they feel like they know you, well, they do know you. When you walk in that house, they're hugging you. And they're, if you say, let me see what's going on, see if I can help you, they share everything with you. And it's night and day from some of these investors. We had a laugh. We had a whole stack of postcards like we got for our properties. And they all ended in circular trash can, and no one uses. I mean, they don't call it's outdated, So the whole thing with marketing, I mean, if you look at it, and one of my things is our society is changing, but we're not changing our business. Like if you look, we used to read newspapers. Now we have email, right?
Right.
And you've got YouTube that's almost replacing TV a lot of times. The radio is podcast. And
Wow.
and think about this, going to real estate meetings. I mean, it was dying before. After this, who's going to go to a group meeting when they
Social networking is 100%. Well, I mean, it's been growing and growing and growing, but you put a big damper in all of the in-person meetings, and people start to realize that they really can get all the same benefit without taking 4 hours out of their schedule to go do it. It is gonna be a shift.
Right. So, I mean, and then telephones, how many people text? So what I've seen happen in all these years, a lot of these investors are still doing things the old school way, but times have changed, and you've got to update to where it is right now. And if you don't, you're going to be in the dust. And this coronavirus really opened up a lot of people's eyes to see. I mean, you do investing remotely. You can. I do it locally, but I still can do it, and it is insane. We are booming in real estate right now. I mean, Tom and I are
Awesome.
leads coming in like crazy, and this is supposed to be a bad time. I'm
It's
doing great.
It's not. It's like you adjust your exit strategy a little bit, but like there's nothing has stopped. Nothing has stopped in real estate.
No, I know, and everybody stepped back with fear, and we've done the extreme opposite, and I know you have too. We have jumped in full force, and we're doing really, really well right now. And this did not even affect us. Does that sound crazy? But so you've got it right now. You're home. You've got your children, which is like extra special because they know computers more than you do, a lot of them. And this is the time for you to build your social media marketing, because when this thing breaks, you're going to be way ahead of the game, not following like what's going on. You got to be proactive right now. Very important.
Exactly.
Very important.
So Cindy, I know that that's something that you've been teaching for a long time, and you teach, and you have a community of people that you're fostering to help with that. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I have what I did. We've been mentoring for years and, teaching. We even have a company where we do social media marketing for you. We've stopped on that because what we found out, we weren't as effective as we wanted to be, because, you've got to put your personality in. Stacy, you put yours in. Jen, you've got to have your personality. So Tom and I had a brainstorm. Let's try something. So we started a group, and it's called Social Media for Real Estate Investors. Okay, Social Media for Real Estate Investors. Has a little flame as an icon. And in there, we give, oh my gosh, so much free content. We go over branding, and we do not sell in that group. Every so often, we will put a promo in there, but that's it. It is pretty much, there's no posting of properties. There's no spam. There's no self-promotion. It's encouragement, and it's learning how to do this. And it's a lot of times people, they're scared to get started, and it's like baby steps. Do this, do this, do this, do this. And then they get their confidence up, and it's fun. It is so much fun. I have a blast. So it's been working. It was a vision. Tom and I felt like we've spoke on stage for years, and it would be frustrating that you have a product, and I'll be honest with you, only 95% of the people actually follow through. And it was like, this is ridiculous. So we wanted to get a spot where we can encourage them to keep going. and not let it sit there. Everything's online, everything's there for you. So that it has been phenomenal. We did the launch, I guess, January 31st. And I guess we're doing great, and we're having a blast, and that's all about it. You know, I'm having fun, and I have to have fun. You know me, Stacy. But yeah,
I do know, and I also know that you're such an amazing wealth of information. You know, literally everything about real estate, like literally everything. And so I think the people that are in your community really get a benefit from being close to you, because one, they're learning this about the specific thing, but like you really have the ability to step into any situation and be able to say, hey, have you thought about this? Or what about that? Your experience level is so huge.
Yeah, I'm what you call, and I think, did you term that very well, paid problem solver? Did you start that? No. Yes.
Oh, highly paid problem solver. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And I said, and I laugh because that's what we all are.
It is.
You know, and real estate is marketing, and then problem solving, and you know, and I love it. And you're a problem solver too. But like situations, I love thinking out of the box and brainstorming how we can make this work or what we can do and twist. I've done it for, oh my gosh, 25 years doing that. But it's a blast and it's so much fun.
Agree. So if people are in our community are interested in joining your Facebook group, how do they do that? What's the best way for them to reach out?
They can either friend me on Facebook, or they can do a search. It's social media for real estate investors. And
Awesome.
We really try and focus in. We have some realtors in there if they're into investing also. That's great. But we just don't want realtors in there. We want people that are interested in investing. And
Gotcha.
that's what it is. Or if you're interested in getting started, like a lot of times they want to, know how to do the social media. This actually works for any business. That's the cool part. Once you get to social media, how to do it, it works for anything. It's fun.
That's awesome. And maybe in the comments when we're done, Cindy, you can put a link to the group so that people can find it easily. Awesome. Awesome. Very good. Well, so guys, I wanted to, so like I said, Cindy's somebody I've known for years, and she's just, well, first of all, she's just funny as all get out. And there's that thing. So she's just fun to follow, but she just really has a mind for marketing at a level that I really haven't seen ever. She just it just resonates in her soul how to connect and how to market. So if you have interest in learning more about that, definitely check out her Facebook group. Her and Tom are just amazing human beings, and I feel really lucky to know them and get to interview you. So thank you, Cindy.
You are so awesome. You have a great day.
You do the same. All right.
Awesome.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.